Today we're doing something a little different. I'm taking what's left over of this Ready Rack. Ready Rack's a name brand. That's what this is called actually, because before I painted it, it's got it stamped right into here somewhere. Can't see it after you paint it, but this whole system. So they got a 14-foot sections here. I cut 6 inches off so they'd fit underneath that floor choice up there. And then I had enough to do 3 of these cross pieces, these shelves. So I cut them down. They were 9 feet and something inches long, and now they're 56.5 inches from here to there. So that's what fits in here. I want to keep the landing same size as it is. I was thinking of making that landing move over a bit, because this is bigger than it needs to be here to go up the stairs, but I don't like those steps. They're too small. So I'm going to make a new set of stairs, and they're going to come out about 11 inches, 10.5, 11 inches. So the bottom step will be actually out here somewhere. So I don't want to really lose any more space here. So I kept it like that. It's not very big. And then I only had enough, like I said, to do 3 of these cross pieces. You can buy this stuff, but why buy it when you already have it? So that's why the plan is to, I've already just finished drilling these holes. I took a piece of square tubing. It's pretty much the same as what you got up there. We're going to weld one on here like this. And then over here, that's the other half of it. Some really rusty old pieces of square tubing I got laying around. We'll weld that on there. And then two 5/16 bolts will go in these holes, and that'll hold it. I think that'll be plenty strong. These spaces are 3 inches exactly. I think the stuff is made in Canada, and it's not metric, so very strange. Everything's metric today, but from here to here is 3 inches, so they're all 3-inch increments. So from here to here is 6 inches. I measured these holes. You don't need to put bolts in there, but you can. So there's 3 locking tabs here in the front, and then there's 3 that go in this groove. That's pretty strong stuff. So, and then you got these holes here. I don't know what these are for. I guess you could put screws. You can put like a self-drilling screw in there, so that maybe if the forklift came up and bumped this upper shelf, it wouldn't lift up and fall apart. You know, it's probably got something to do with that. And then you can put bolts here too. And then there's these. I don't know what these. This one here doesn't make sense. Maybe you could drill and put a hole. I don't know. All kinds of options. And that one. But these are so solid there after you've... I have to use like a rubber mallet. It's up on top of this shelf. No, where is it? It's somewhere. I think I put it away. And when we had to put these on, they're not perfectly... And they're not as flexible because they're short now. So you can't really flex them a little bit this way or that way. So they were hard to get lined up and started. So we put the last 2 up a couple of nights ago. And then I got that top. I want to put the one... the 4th one's going to go up there between this black one here going across, and it'll probably go around there somewhere. So I think the space between these is too big. You're not really optimizing your storage because you're losing all this area up here. But I don't know. It's a good option for this corner because that's all lost space up there. And same on the other side of the shop over there. But it's over a door. The man door is over there, the exit door. So I could have put the 9-foot sections right in there. It would have fit. And no stairs or anything. It probably would have been lined up with that beam. Or that box anyway. You know what? The toolboxes are going here. So the best option was... And then we put shelves up there. So we're good there. So our best option was to put that Ready Rack right here. But I got a whole bunch of these leftover pieces. So this is what was left over. Goes down to this point here. So I just cut a little piece off. One of the other pieces, because I have 4 this size. And I added on there with a Should work out pretty good. So we're going to weld these on right now. I'm going to clean up some of this rust with the grinder. We got to grind this little piece off here because that's going to interfere with how it fits. I did that already on this one. It could take it a little more off there, but I don't think it'll really matter. And then this one goes on like that. I was thinking of putting a little brace down here. I don't think I need to. I think that'll be plenty strong. All right, over here is what's left over. So there's a little chunk I cut off. This one, I'll keep cutting pieces off this. I need another one. So one of these will be the next cross member, and then I've got these pieces. They go front to back. They're really rusty because they were left outside. They should not have been left outside. There was room in the storage shed to put them in there, but they just, for some reason, they got left, and they sunk in some mud and they rusted pretty badly. But I don't think it really affects the strength of them. I don't think it's an issue. And then I got a bunch of these pieces of off-cut pieces of plywood. That upper shelf's gonna be out of this stuff. It's not the nicest looking. I may sand it or I may paint it. I was not planning on painting any plywood. Just put it on there, done. But that looks pretty. Maybe I'll go over it with the belt sander. And then I'll probably put a 2x4 where it's gonna join in the middle somewhere. And then that'll also lock it in a little bit. And I might put a couple blocks in the corners. I don't really want to screw these shelves to these cross member things, but if you just put a little block of wood on the underside, you won't see it, and then it won't slide when you move stuff on and off the shelf, sort of thing. So that's my plan today, to get that done. See, this is all the way this is made. It's two pieces of U-channel kind of fit together and welded. So the top and bottom of the shelf is doubled up. So you got 8 corners instead of 4. You got 2, 2, and 2 and 2. And then the sidewall, it's kind of neat the way they did that. So like an I-beam, your piece between is usually pretty thin, and then your top and bottom piece is where all the strength comes from. So same idea. Oh yeah, we're gonna bring this around and cut this. I've been just using the angle grinder with a cutting disc, and I use a scribe and a square, and I mark it nice and straight. That's pretty straight. And then these, because the front, that's a different racking system. These are green. They're from probably a green rack. I don't have that one, the uprights. So the orange stuff is 18. It's around 17 3/4 inches front to back. So this is obviously bigger ready rack. So it's like that must be close to 36 inches. I haven't even measured it, but yeah, we got to cut those 4 down, and we'll have 2 for each shelf. Should be good. Okay, we're using the little Thunderbolt XL. Yeah, I had to go handheld there for a bit because it's the only way now. This one's ready to weld on. Give that a shot. I'm using 6011, 332 inch. Very small. That clamp's too small. Price of welding shielding gas for the MIG has just gone. It's gone crazy. It's double the price it used to be. So that's it. When we can get away with using the stick, we'll use the stick. I gotta grind this little bit. It's not. There's a gap there. So I'll just pause for a minute. Very crooked. Try that again. It's a woodworker's pipe clamp, but it works pretty good for this. Can't see very well. The sun's coming right in the back of this place. Easy to burn through this stuff. One down, one to go. do some grinding. I'm gonna grind these sharp corners off. Wire brush and paint that. That'll go up there, up at the top. Yeah, we're getting there. I bought one sheet of plywood. It's only, when you cut a little piece out like this, 56.5 inches by, I can't remember what it was front to back, under 18 inches. You end up with 2 small pieces, so not enough to do 2 shelves unless you put 2 pieces together. But anyway, we're gonna do that. And then I got these cross members are right here. They're painted black. Two of those per shelf should be fine, I think. It would be nice to have 3, but if I find it's not strong enough, it's flexing, the plywood's flexing, like it does flex a little here, but I think it's okay. And then if it is, I might put a piece of 2x4 on each end or something. It'll lock it in and give it more strength. But we got all our copper down here and aluminum. We stripped a whole bunch. We used this machine. I don't know, I haven't shown you guys this. I did a short, I think, on this. Or maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't put it on there. Cannot remember, but I'll show you what we got here. There it is. Made in you-know-where. So this is the actual original crate it came in. We changed out the plywood on the bottom for a thicker piece. I think that's a leftover piece of this shelving. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Anyway, we got some good plywood on the bottom, bolted right through all 4 corners. No, 3 out of 4. It's a wire stripping machine. So there's all your different size holes for different size wire. It's got, I don't know, it's like 7 or 8 blades on the back. You can look at them here through the back. That's how it works. It just drives it right through this little V groove. Some of them have little grippy things on it. And then the very end is not a cutting wheel, it's just it's for squishing wire. So the last 2 slots, you after you cut the outer casing, this is for cutting that outer plastic casing off wire. And then you run it through here, especially the smaller stuff, and it comes right off. I saw Stan Barzy Industrial. He made a video of this thing. I said, that's what we need right away. I said, my son's an electrician now. He's just coming home with piles and piles of wire. This was a squirrel had made a nest in the weather head, and the wire caught fire. Unfortunately, the squirrel didn't make it, but everything caught fire. The wire was up in flames, so it's a little burnt. I hope they should take that, but they may reduce what you get for it. But there's probably $500 worth of copper here between that bin and these 5 or 6 pieces here. 2 of these are mine, and then all that aluminum, and that whole box there of wire underneath that aluminum is this kind of stuff. It's small copper. I don't know if it's worth stripping all that. I really don't think it's worth it at the time. So we're gonna bring it in like that. You get $1 a pound like it is, and you get $4 a pound if it's stripped like this clean. So it's definitely worth stripping this larger stuff, because it took us, the little machine he had before, he said it took him near an hour to do one of these longer pieces. These are like 80 or 90 feet long. I don't know about this one, but yeah, the ones I had, that's the ones I had back there, I think. And he said we had 3 of them. He only did 1. And on this machine, that same piece, 80 feet, 90 feet long, took like literally 3 minutes or less. I think it took more like close to 2 minutes. And it's just a no-brainer. If you're gonna bring this stuff home and strip it all, that's what you gotta do. You gotta get the right machine for that. We had this little wire stripper. I'll show it to you. So this is what we're using before. And this is a Secret Santa Christmas gift for my son, one of his friends. And it works pretty good. You put your drill on here. It works really, really well. It won't do that really big wire. It doesn't fit. It's just not quite big enough. But you got to adjust it all the time for different size wire, and then you got to tweak it in. There's no spring. That wire stripper over there has a spring loaded, so it's pretty well always putting just about almost the right amount of pressure. So this is what we ended up having. At the end of it, we just stripped it, and we use a pair of hand pruners, and we cut these all up in short lengths, and they actually fit in the bin. So this is half full, just that little bit of wire of this plastic outer casing that if you don't remove, you don't get much for it if you don't remove that outer casing. So I haven't made too many videos in the last little while, but we're coming up on a big milestone. I think either the end of this month, it's June 19th, and probably more like the beginning first or second week of next month, but possibly the end of this month we're going to hit 1 million views on a little channel with just 2,270 subscribers last time I checked. So that's a huge milestone, I think. And I have to thank all my subscribers, because we've been on the since 2016. I think it was around August 10th or 11th of 2016. So 9 years of YouTube and 1 million 1 million views. I wish I had 1 million subscribers. That's never gonna happen. But never say never. But we just do. That's all we do is little videos like this, welding and fabricate. Throw in a little machining and shop improvements. Mostly showing how my equipment runs, shop improvements, and all kinds of different things like that. Whatever I feel like putting up there. So this thing here is absolutely awesome. See the springs? Big, heavy compression springs. Oh, I think that's what you call those. And then you got these 4 rods to guide it. And they're chromed. It's really, really nice. I think this thing here, 10, 20 years ago, would have been like $2,000. This came in, delivered to the door, and the next day, I ordered on a Monday, it came in on a Tuesday for under $500. It was like literally, I think it was $407 with tax and shipping and everything included. And it's got this gear reduction motor in here. It runs at a really nice speed. It's got the emergency on-off switch. There's your main on-off. And then you just plug it in, 110 volts right here. Just a little short extension, a little short wire here. I think it's awesome. There's the specs on that. I think it makes a lot of sense. If you're an electrician, I think you need one of these if you're going to recycle copper. Yeah. So that's a huge milestone. Almost 1 million views. We're at 996,000 right now. So, and because I haven't been making videos, the numbers of watching, the viewing numbers are just dropping. So I have to pump out the videos again. And I've got new video editing software, so I think I'll start making videos again. I got a whole bunch of stuff I want to do. We spent the last year and a half or so working on this shop. We built the mezzanine. We insulated all the exterior wall. We finished up the exterior walls. 2 out of 4 were done. We did the other 2 walls are finished. A lot of wiring, a lot of painting and sanding and mud and drywall and all that stuff nobody likes to do. And then we rearranged all our workbenches and our toolboxes. Those Stanley Vidmar cabinets. I have 3 of them. So I have the 2 tall ones. One's a 15 drawer, one's a 16 drawer, and one's a little 5 drawer. It's easy to move. It's on casters. But the 2 tall ones, they're tricky to move. And actually one of them has tipped over on me a number of times, 3 times. And so don't move one of those unless you learn how to do it properly. You either have to do one of 2 things: take all the drawers out, or strap the drawers shut with like a 2x4 or something solid. Put a couple of straps around. So we got those in place. The workbench is back where it goes. What else? I got rid of a whole bunch of stuff. My son made me sell off a whole bunch of overstock tools and stuff I don't need, which he's right about. which is really good because it's freeing up a lot of space in here. And then, yeah, so we're going to be doing stuff like what we used to do, fixing, fabricating, welding, machining again, and I got a lot of painting to do. So starting with that ready rack, this has all been painted. I gave it a couple of coats. It needs a little more paint. That didn't turn out the best. I think we turned this one the wrong way. I think it was meant to go the other way. Not a big deal. It's just I wanted it to look a little more presentable. It was sitting outside for 8 or 10 years, rusted, and very ugly looking. So cleaned it up, made it look a little more presentable, and we got a box. We got an electrical box. We did a lot of wiring. Box right there. We're gonna run 240 volts of power for the welder, so I don't have to run an extension cord from. The plug is at the back of the shop because the power comes into the shop at the back, and the panel's back there. So that conduit runs down underneath everything here, and it's going to make its way all the way to that panel back there. So really happy about that. So a little every day, it's just say every day, try and do something. A little improvement. The weather's nice. The winter's well over now. We finished up our syrup. We did a month of making maple syrup in the month of March, April, mostly in April, I think. Yeah, 2 weeks of March and maybe 2 weeks of April. So that really ate into the shop time. And then we had a family member who passed away, and so we had preparations for the funeral and or the celebration of life. That took three weekends of my time. So that was 7 weekends right there. I've gone making maple syrup, and then this family member passing away. So we're back on track to make videos again. This one's going to end up being a little longer than I want it to be, but I don't even care if I get 25 views anymore. I just want to let you know what I'm doing, and I'm still around, but we are celebrating that 1 millionth view pretty soon. It should happen in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So thanks for watching. Thanks to my subscribers, and push that thumbs up button, and share and subscribe if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.